Today we will be learning about the arc addition postulate. The arc addition postulate is defined as the measure of an arc formed by two adjacent arcs and is the sum of the measures of the two arcs. So, for example, in this case, note that on the circle we have point A, point B, and point C. We could say if we take arc AB and add that to arc BC, that all together would give us the measurement of arc AC. So example 1 asks us to find the measure of arc AC. So here's arc AC. We notice that we go all the way from A through B to C. And we know we can find the measure of arc AC using the arc addition postulate. We could say the measure of arc AB plus the measure of arc BC would give us the measure of arc AC. We also see that we have some central angles. We have angle ADB measuring 63 degrees. And we learned previously that the central angle is equal to the measurement of its arc. So since central angle ADB is 63, we know arc AB measures 63. And since central angle BDC measures 26, we know that arc BC measures 26. So when we add those together, we're going to get the measurement of arc AC, which is 89 degrees. So the measure of arc AC is 89 degrees. In example 2, we are being asked to find the measure of arc KM. Now, we're going to use the arc addition postulate again. It's going to look a little different when we solve, but let's check it out. So arc JK plus arc KM is equal to the measurement of arc JKM, which what do we notice? We notice that's a semicircle, and we know a semicircle measures 180 degrees, right? So we can say JK, arc JK is equal to its central angle JDK. So we can say JK is 72 plus KM, we don't know what that is equal to, what's the semicircle measure? 180 degrees. And now we can solve for arc AM by subtracting 72 from both sides. 180 minus 72 is 108. So arc KM measures 108 degrees. So in example 3, it wants us to find the measure of CDE. So let's go ahead and interpret that. C is the starting point. We have to go through D and stop at E. So we have CDE. Now, when I look at CDE, I see we have two segments. We have the measure of CD and we have the measure of DE. So we're going to add those two pieces together to be able to find the measure of arc CDE. So CD measures 90 degrees because we see central angle CFD is 90 degrees, therefore its arc CD is 90 degrees. But what's the measure of DE? We don't even know the central angle to that. But we do, because we see that angle AFB is 18 degrees. So we know angle DFE is 18 degrees because they are vertical angles. And vertical angles are equal. So if angle DFE is 18 degrees, then we know arc DE is 18 degrees. So 90 plus 18 is 108 degrees. So the measure of arc CDE is 108 degrees. In example 4, we want to find each of the indicated angles. So the first one, we're looking for the measure of JKL. So from J through K to L. Now, we don't have two of those measurements, both of those arc measurements, but we do know that we can add JK to KL. Now, I see that KN is a diameter, so that means that KN is going to be half of my circle, meaning 180 degrees. And I'm going to subtract out those two pi pieces we already know, which are 40 and 25. So 180 minus 40 minus 25 is 115. So we know that angle KPL is 115 degrees. So angle KL is 115 degrees. I also see that angle MPN is 25 degrees, and that's vertical angles with KPJ, and vertical angles are equal. So now we can go ahead and say KL plus JK is equal to the entire large angle JKL. Or we could say 115 plus 25 is equal to 140 degrees. Next, we would like to know what's the measure of arc LJN. So that's a whole big piece. We know that KN is a semicircle, 180 degrees, and KL is 115 degrees. So we can say KL plus KN, or 115 plus 180, would give us 295 degrees for the measure of JKL. In this last example, we're looking for the measure of arc EFC, so from E through F to C. Now, of those three pieces, those 3 pi pieces that are put together to give us EFC, we notice that we have angle BGF, or arc BF. It's 126 degrees. We also note that CF is a diameter of the circle. That means that CF is half of the circle, 180 degrees. So to find the missing piece, we can say 180 minus 126 to get the remaining piece of BC. BC is 54 degrees. So let's do these pieces. We can say the measure of EB plus the measure of BC, which we just found to be 54. So we can say 180 plus 54 degrees is equal to 234. And then one final question wants to know, what is the measure of arc BC? And that is a simple 54 degrees because we just found it.